Welcome to the Danielle Williams Benefit Show. Danielle has a special place in all our hearts. She's like the heart of the Phoenix comedy scene. Hell, she's the heart of the Valley.
I feel like I'm a seminar, and this is my meeting to let you know how to unleash your inner black woman. That's what you're going to learn about.
And when she told me she had lung cancer, I was devastated because, you know, Danielle doesn't smoke. She's such a healthy person. She's always hiking, always on the mountain. Like she motivates me to work out. Like I like to think I'm in a little bit of good shape, but man, when I be like on them days, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I just see Danielle on her Instagram and she's at the top of the mountain smiling, just smiling, like always smiling. So it just motivates me. I'm pretty sure she motivates everybody, motivates so many people out here. The Phoenix comedy community is dedicated and stands with her and her battle. Please donate whatever you can and share this post.
Danielle is very special to me, and I'd like to help her any way I can during her time of need. If you'd like to help, please donate or share this link with as many people as possible.
Thank you everybody who has supported Danielle in the past. Diva has an amazing group of friends and support out there. For those of you that would like to donate, there's a donate button right below. Please click on it. Please share, tell all your friends. We're trying to raise as much money as possible. And if you'd like to bid on one of our fantastic silent auction items, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, I'm Diva Danielle, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. All of you out there have touched me so deeply with your love, support, and generosity in your donations. So from the bottom of my heart, I wouldn't have been able to get through this crazy stage 4 lung cancer journey if it wasn't for you. So again, thank you. We're gonna have some fun. I got wonderful, fantastic friends on the show tonight. So sit back and relax and let the show begin.
Exciting night. We're raising some money for our friend, the beloved Miss Diva Danielle. Yeah. Say that again, Diva Danielle. I got choked up my tongue here. Yeah. And you know, before we start the show, I want to also bring out the co-producer or the producer of the show, Mr. Gene Moore. From behind the curtain. Do you want to say anything? No. I can't believe you're at a loss for words. Okay. I just want to say that I love Danielle, and if you can help our friend, we would appreciate it. We ask for you to enjoy the show, share the show, and donate if you can. Ernesto Ortiz. And you know, along those lines, we're actually having a silent auction tonight, and all the items are listed on the DivaDanielle.com. Diva, that sounds real cute. The DivaDanielle.com. All right, we ready? Yeah! We're gonna have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, to give a big round of applause to your host and my friend, Mr. James Hohenstreich.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Keep it up for Ernesto, everybody. Make some noise and make some noise for the Diva, everybody. We are here to support our lovely friend, a woman that is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. Give her another round of applause. I'm here to help you out. I'm going to be real with you, though. It's really hard to pity your ass with the Instagram that you have. It is hard to feel sorry for a woman that gives you a massive erection. It is really difficult when somebody's like, oh, look at this, poor Danielle. I'm like, fuck. I copy and save this. Whoa! Fantastic. I also enjoy your inspirational quotes. Right? Does everybody read Danielle's inspirational quotes? Quotes on her page. Amazing. I don't follow any of them. I generally read them while I'm hungover in the morning. I read them right after I hit the snooze button on my alarm and right before I call in sick to work. And I think about living my best life, and then I decide that I'll just do it tomorrow. But I love you so much for posting it. Thank you so much. It might change someday. I am super excited because I just read that there is going to be another season of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. Thank God. Another degenerate in the house. I love Unsolved Mysteries. I love the Unsolved Mysteries as a kid. I'd watch it all by myself. And I just get scared. watch it while my parents were out drinking. Interesting fact, a drunken plumber sounds almost exactly like an axe murderer when they come home at night. It's pretty terrifying, especially as a young man. I love the old episodes because they had multiple stories in them. And it was story after story after story. That would give you even more scared when they were forced, or when it was done, you didn't know if you were going to be murdered, kidnapped, abducted by aliens, or adopted. It was really confusing. You didn't know what was going to happen. So the thing I don't like about the new one is that there's only one story for every episode. And I've noticed something. A lot of the stories on Unsolved Mysteries now are not unsolved mysteries. They're not. I'll give you an example. You'll watch the first episode is a story about a woman who cheats on her husband and then murders her husband and has her daughter help her incinerate the husband's body in a pit in their backyard. And then they go and spread his ashes over a highway. And then the daughter feels guilty about it, so she goes and tells the police. And then the mother finds out that the daughter talked to the police, and then the daughter disappeared. And we don't know what happened. Yeah, we do. Yeah, this is not an unsolved mystery. That bitch's mom killed her. She killed her. She probably burned her like she did the husband, except she made sure that nobody saw it this time, so they don't rat to the police. We know exactly what happened. It's not a mystery. This is not an unsolved mystery. It should be a show called We Can't Prove It. It's a whole different show. We should put that on Netflix. And then let OJ host it. It'd be a great show. Just every episode, hey everybody, I'm NFL star OJ Simpson, and welcome to a new episode of We Can't Prove It. Then you'd have some same lame-ass story like that. In the end, OJ just be like, oh well, guess we never gonna know. Here's our next story. That's it. There was one from my home state of Kansas that was a little troubling. It was a story about a young black gentleman who lived in Kansas and went to a party out in the sticks. And his friends left him there because he was talking to one of the white girls at the party. And then he disappeared, and they found his body about a month later. And it was an unsolved mystery. No, it's not. There were some rednecks at that party. They were pissed off when he was talking to a white girl, and they killed him. That's what happened. I could solve this pretty easily. All I have to do is see the people that were at the party. I'm from Kansas. I'll figure this out. Okay? Just line them all up in front of me. I will tell you the girl he was talking to. Spoiler, it's the ugly one. And I will also tell you the 3 to 4 rednecks that killed him. This is pretty easy. That was the thing that was so alarming to me about this story, is that I lived in Kansas, and I had black friends, and you don't leave them at parties in Kansas. You don't. And just a hint for all of the people of color who are in the room now, if you are ever in the Midwest and you get invited to a party and you have to walk through a wheat field or a cornfield to get to that party, don't go. Just don't. There's nothing for you on the other side of that wheat field except trouble and ugly white girls. That's it. Just don't go. That was the thing. You never left your black friend at a party in Kansas. When I would leave a party, I would check. I would make sure. I'd be like, okay, keys, wallet, phone, Jamal. Okay, yeah, we can go. I would actually put one of those janitor keys on him just so I could walk away and I would know. It's like, Jamal, we gotta go. It's time. I was also watching that show, American Murderer. Anybody seen that on Netflix? The guy that kills his wife and daughters. Here's what that show taught me. Do not ever kill anyone in an affluently white neighborhood, because those people have cameras at their houses. They record everything, and they are incredibly nosy. You're not going to get away with it. This guy came up with a story that his wife had just taken their daughters and just left. I'm like, well, when did she leave? Well, I don't know. Oh, well, let's go over to your neighbor's house and look at the camera. They walk across the street, like, do you have a camera on the house? Oh yeah, I got a camera on the house right over here. See, look, all day long. They never left. See, they never left. You know what's weird though? This morning, when he came home, he parked his car in his garage. See, he never does that. See, look at the night before. See, he didn't do it. And the night before that, he didn't do it. And the night before that, he didn't do it. See, but here's the other thing. I recorded him in his backyard. He's acting really weird right now. You see, this is how he used to act, but now this is how he acts now. It's really weird, right? What's amazing to me is that this guy that did this got caught because he was seeing another woman and he was no longer having sex with his wife. Here's the thing, gentlemen. If you were going to cheat and you're going to double up on the women, got to double up on the sex. So you can't keep that regular sex going. You've got to do it twice. You have to double up on the work. That looks a little suspicious, you see. You've got to keep it up. That's the hard part about it. If you're one of these one time a night guys, don't cheat. You don't have it in you. You're barely pleasing one woman, okay? You don't have room for two. Just have an honest conversation with whoever's at home. The other thing that bothers me is now that he's in prison, he gets letters from women who want to marry him. Did you see what he did to his last wife? And where do I find one of these women that are this forgiving? That are able to look past something like this? 2 years ago, I deleted the finale of The Voice off of my DVR so I could record The Shawshank Redemption. And my wife hasn't let that go. I get it, I have The Shawshank Redemption on DVD, so I shouldn't have done it. But still, she's held a grudge. These other women seem to be a lot easier to let go of that. The other thing that is weird to me is that you wouldn't look at past behavior when you're selecting a man. Like, he killed her. You don't think he might kill you? When I was in college, I didn't date a girl once because she gave a friend of mine a toothy blowjob. I was just being careful because I knew what she had done before. Like, you want to go out this Saturday? Take a bite of this corn cob. No, I'm busy. Sorry. Folks, we have some great comics coming up. Thank you so much. I have the privilege of bringing up the next act. She is a lovely woman and a funny comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dina Casera, ladies and gentlemen. Noise!
Hi, you guys. How are you? I've been quietly watching Danielle's progress, and I love you, and I'm glad we can do this for you. You're a beautiful person. So I did want to answer a couple of James' questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here to help. I read a story about a man and a woman were getting a divorce, and the woman asked the man for the divorce. And what he did was he put some poison in her tea, and she drank it. And then I read this in a newspaper, like this actually happened. He took her and put her in a wood chipper. Swear to God, the noise of the wood chipper woke her up. She stumbled home. I'm guessing she was stumbling. She stumbled home, and here's the best part. They worked it out. They worked it out because that's what it fucking takes in a marriage. You gotta get past some shit, right? And now I don't know the conversation that happened, but if it was like, you better remember. Put me in a wood chipper again. I swear to God. He's like, oh, you're still bringing that up. You never Our dad was married for 30 years and I just got a divorce a month ago. Thank you. I'm exhausted. Who's married? I can't wait for my new life to start. This is my new life. This is my new life. I'm pretty excited about it. I do have 3 daughters who has kids. One person, anyone? That one lady has kids. Danielle is her kid. I have 3 daughters and they are precious. I hear all day long, well, you give her everything. You do everything for her, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's because I love her more. My sister was a beauty queen in my house, and I was the funny one. Okay, right, all right, I'll take it. But as time has passed, we both realized, because I told her, beautiful fades. And funny's forever. Beautiful fades. So, yeah, you guys, I can't remember my jokes except all the filthy ones. So a man asked me why women fake orgasms, and I told him because I'm shy. I said, women fake orgasms because we've got shit to do. You can usually hear the load in the dryer, can't you, when that buzzer rings? You're like, let's go, pick it up. My shit's gonna get wrinkled. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to have sex anymore. I'm exhausted. It's like working in the pizza place for 30 years. Like, no, I don't want any more fucking pizza. I'll take a fucking nap and watch my shows. I did grow up Catholic. So, yes, I had my first child when I was 17. Which is normal, right? I was homeless for a little while with the children, and I remember at night I would tuck them in and say everything's going to be okay, you know, and then I'd climb into the front seat. See, I fucked up that joke. Apologize. So I read a lot of women's magazines. And one woman's magazine, the name of the article was 10 Things Never to Say Just After You've Made Love. I'm reading it. You know, back when we cared. But I'm reading it, and it said 10 Things Never to Say Just After You've Made Love. And it said in there, never ever, like you're making love 1 second later, turn around and go, hey, you think you'll get around to fixing that bookshelf this week? Because us girls do this all the time. We're going, he's going to get around to fixing that. Right? Well, only me and you got it, girl. The best thing is never take a shower with your mate. That's a horrible friggin' idea. So the man made it up, for sure. Because men and women shower differently, don't they? Women shower and the water comes out, and it comes out nice and gentle. It's a perfect temperature. And it comes out nice and gentle, and we've got the spongy thing going. I am good enough. I am going to have a good day. I am. Help me be encouraging today and positive towards others. But men have that 600-degree bullets coming at them. Like they even have to be in a ward in the shower. You know, they're like, fuck you will not change me. And it's hitting themselves in their bodies. It's like, oh, fuck you can't beat me. And then I come in the room and he's like, he's like, oh, hey, shh. Because that's how married people do it. They go, shh. And I think, well, I'm dirty. The house is clean. I've got all my shit done. May as well kill two birds with one stone. So then I get in there, and then he used me as a shield. Because that's true love. You know what I mean? So they have colored condoms now. That's fun, right? Yay, colored condoms. Yay. My husband wore one once, and it was a blue one, and I said, oh my God, now I'm fucking Barney. That's the stupidest joke ever. Ever. I've never told a stupider joke. But being married 30 years here was one thing. You're able to share your sexual fantasies, right? When you're married that long, right? That's right. But I find that men's fantasies and women's fantasies often differ, don't they? Right? Like a woman would go, I'd like to make love in a big field of flowers with the wind blowing through my hair, and I'm drinking wine and listening to the Backstreet Boys. You know what I mean? And a man is like, I'd like to see you shove a chicken up your ass. The next day you're like, you still gotta live with that guy. You're like, oh, Jesus, fuck. You know, you're walking around going, oh my God, you're a lunatic. Yes, I'm ready for church. You guys have been great.
Phoenix is there, everybody. Tonight, you and I are going to option a screenplay about marriage called 30 Years at the Pizza Joint. That is the most beautiful analogy of marriage. Just being like, I got to eat this pizza again. One more time for Dina, everybody. Please. I'm going to have the pleasure of bringing your next comic up to the stage. Me and this guy spend way too much time together. You can check out our podcast. Is it dark in here? Like a question. Is it dark in here? It's not, because we have a spotlight here, but we don't on the podcast. But check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for this guy I love you to death. Christopher Royer, everybody. Social distance.
Camera. Hi, I'm Christopher. Thanks for watching or being here. This is neat. It's fun. Haven't done a lot of comedy, because of the pandemic and whatnot. And so it's fun getting back into it, especially because I left it on a weird note. One of the last shows I ever did, a guy introduced me and he said, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now is a comedian that's somewhere on the autism spectrum and doesn't know it yet, Christopher Royer. He said that about me, and I had never had anyone say that about me before, so I didn't really know how to feel about it. So then I went home and I checked my spreadsheet of emotions to see how I should feel about it. And I was like, oh man, he might be right. I ended up taking 5 online tests to see where I fell on the Asperger's autism spectrum. I called my friend Eric to tell him, and he's like, you don't need to tell me the results. You just told me you took 5 different tests. And I was like, I needed reliable data. The words high functioning came up a lot. I'm both of those things, so I thought I'll take it. I'm high-end functioning. So, but that's the way my brain is. My brain, I like spreadsheets, I like numbers, and I like math, and I don't have a lot of use for emotions. And then sometimes, that's just how I am, and I'm okay with it. And then sometimes I take things too literally, and I think that's a thing. And then people don't want to be around me because I take things very literally sometimes. I was telling my therapist, and he goes, well, you should go out and meet new people. So I went to a maternity ward. Because those were the newest people I could find. Little clingy, still kind of judgy, surprisingly. I could feel it. It doesn't help me when I have this brain like this. It doesn't always help me in romantic situations because I can't tell if somebody likes me or is hitting on me or anything. I just, like, again, I take things very literally. And one time, there was a cute girl, and she said to me, if you could be stranded, I guess we were dating, we were married or something, I don't know. And so they all run together. And she said, if you'd be stranded on a deserted island with anybody, who would it be? So I thought about it and I said, someone who knows how to build a boat. And she goes, oh my God, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. I was like, oh, I didn't know you knew how to build a boat. Brad, like, yeah, that'll be fine. We'll get out of there. And she's like, oh my God, you're so unromantic. You're so terrible. I'm like, what the fuck? Just me and the guy with the boat building skills, and we'll get back eventually. Shit, stop being so clingy. And don't Helen hunt me while I'm gone. Like, we'll get back. Like, damn. So, I don't know. I take things literally sometimes. But you know what the fun part is? Every once in a while, I'll get, like, my itch scratched. Every once in a while, something incredibly literal will happen. It makes me so warm inside. One time I was in New York. I was on, like, I don't know, like 6th Avenue or something. And I was all by myself. And no one, I can't prove it, but it happened. A Honda Civic came screeching up to the red light and it stopped. And then the doors opened on both sides and Chinese people got out of both sides, ran around the car and switched sides and drove away. And I was like, oh God, I knew they did that. I knew they really did that. Oh shit, I feel so good. The only thing that could have made that day better is if a Native American guy would have just jumped out and grabbed my wrist. I was like, I knew it. I knew you guys did Indian burns. Native American burns. Piesta burns. I don't know what we call them here in Arizona. Sometimes it's funny at work, like I take things pretty literally, and like I have candy in my office at my job, and on my desk, and then I also have a bunch of Star Wars toys in my desk. And a guy comes in because he wanted candy, I guess, and he said, and he takes a piece of candy, goes, hey, looks around at the toys and goes, you know who the most badass Star Wars characters of all time? I'm like, I'm glad we're having this discussion, because yes, I put a lot of thought into it, and some people think it's the Emperor, and some people think it's Boba Fett, but come on. I was like, really? It's probably Jabba the Hutt, right, if you think about it, because he lived out in the middle of the desert, and he had this big palace, and he would all his friends over, and they were like scumbags and like bounty hunters, and they would like sleep standing up for some reason in his living room, and he had people for decorations, just people on the wall, frozen. That's pretty badass, don't you think? And he's just like, and I'm like, okay, but it doesn't stop there, right? Because then he would like have a chick chained up, and like he tried to make out with her, and she didn't want to, so he kicked her into his monster pit, because he has a fucking monster pit in his living room, which is pretty dope. Like, that's badass, right? And then Leia didn't get dropped in the monster pit. I'm not saying she put out. I'm just saying she didn't get dropped in the monster pit. So draw your own conclusion. And so, and then the guy killed his monster in his monster pit that was in his living room. He's like, oh, I'd be real bummed out if I didn't have a backup monster pit. Holy shit, I got a boat that just goes to my backup monster pit. Let's go there. I was like, so I think Jabba's the most badass. Is that what you were gonna say? And he was just like, I was just gonna say Darth Vader, man. Thanks for the candy. And I was like, oh man, I did it again. Somebody asked me one day, do you think you'll get married again? So I looked it up, because that's the way my brain works. And guess what? People who've been divorced twice, yeah, they almost always get married again. Statistically, I will totally do it. But I don't want to get divorced again. I want to keep giving away all my stuff. I don't have much left. Like 3 pairs of sneakers and a lightsaber. Like, I have like nothing. Keep giving it all. And so I looked it up. I was like, well, how will I get divorced again? 75% of all third marriages end in divorce. It's like, I don't like those odds. But then I looked it up, and the Phoenix Police Department is only solving murders at a 45% rate. So I was like, oh, there's a 30% spread in there. I've got it out. I like my odds. I take things literally sometimes. She looked at me one time, we were watching The Notebook, and she's like, isn't this romantic? Isn't this romantic? Couldn't we end up like this? I'm like, oh, where you would just forget who I am and then die? Yeah, that would be awesome. It's so convenient. I don't know. But that one didn't end well. It ended in divorce, which is the way it goes, right? And then, but here's why. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. I'll give you one story as to why it ended, and it'll totally make sense as to why it ended. Because, like, one time, so, like, she was, like, hitting me and yelling at me all the time, so I left. Like, for good. I was like, hey, I'm not going to be married to you anymore, and then I left. And then I guess I hurt her feelings. So then, you know what she did to get back at me? She wrote a letter to my work and told them that I was addicted to heroin and that they should test me for heroin. And that's why we broke up, because I don't do heroin. I've never done heroin, and I have no interest, and I don't even know where to get it. So that doesn't make any sense, because like, you're gonna go and do this when you could have just told my work to test me for pot, or coke, or shrooms, or LSD, or DMT, or stem cells if it's been a really cool weekend, right? And I would have tested positive for every single one, and that's why we broke up. 5 years together, and you still don't know what drugs I like? Fuck you, Gretchen. Fuck you. Everybody that knows me, Gene knows. I have a Molly tooth. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. I think it's Coachella every time I leave the fucking house. She never noticed that the only time I was ever in a good mood around her, I was also dancing and sweating profusely. Like, how do you not pick up these signs? The glow sticks were everywhere. It was just lazy. I memorized the names of all 13 of her cats, and she couldn't memorize MDMA. Really? That's just 4 little letters. I did. Well, for the record, I married a woman with 12 cats. I divorced a woman with 13 cats. Because I have fucking boundaries, okay? I'm learning boundaries now. This is cool. Thank you guys for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I remember when I was driving with Gene to New Mexico to do a show for $20. A show that he lost our drugs twice. He kept throwing them away. And we were going to film our comedy specials, and I said, well, we need openers. And I said, who do you want your opener? And he tells me who he wants. And he says, who do you want for your opener? I said, I want the microwave. He goes, who's the microwave? I said, Danielle Williams, because she heats that shit up quick. And he's like, oh, I wish I would have thought of her. I'm like, yeah, damn straight. I got the best one. And thank you for being there for our comedy special, and thank you for having me here tonight.
I feel so Republican when you do that. Like, take your mask off. It's not real. Keep it going for Krister, everybody. Lawyer. Thank you. You know, I thought that you got Indian burns at convenience stores. So obviously we think two different minds about it. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up your next comedian, whom I love to death. He is the former head writer of the Fashion Police, which is the only fashion show that my wife could ever get me to watch with her. So we love you for that. Please make a little bit of noise for my good friend, Tony Tiffany, everybody.
Oh, I love you too, James. I love James so much I hug him even though there's a fucking plague happening. Danielle, I love you too. Oh, I love you. This is a thrill to get to do this. It's fun to do this. Also, it's fun because it's not a Zoom show. Because like, there's like 9 comics in the room right now. And this is a safe space. Like, we can talk about how much Zoom shows fucking suck, right? Like we can, like, they're awful. It's embarrassing. You feel that, like, Zoom shows are like fucking a blow-up doll. Like you can go through your whole routine and it's kind of the same, but it's also just kind of humiliating. Afterwards, you're like, wow, that is just not as fun as doing it in a room full of people who paid to watch you do it. Right, Danielle, you whore? No, she's not. Yeah, I did a Zoom show for deaf children. How do you think that went? So it was for adults, but it was a fundraiser for deaf children. And they were like, but one thing that we want to, like, just talk to you about, like, if you're going to do deaf people jokes, that would be like a dick move even for me. Although I do have 3 minutes of cancer material I'm going to do in a second. But they're like, if you're going to do deaf people jokes, you need to understand that in the deaf community, people refer to themselves as either capital D deaf or lowercase D deaf. Did you know that? It's like, I'm not making it up, it's a total true thing. And okay, so capital D deaf is people that have like absolutely zero hearing, even with hearing aids they can't hear. Lowercase D deaf are people that are hearing impaired, but they can hear partially. And I was like, thank you for that. Turns out I'm capital G gay. No, like I can't even straight like a little out of one ear, like not at all. Like when you straight people start talking that way, I just have to read lips. So I know it's mostly straight people probably watching this, and I just want to say, like, don't freak out that like the gay guy in the faggoty blouse is up here. Like it's fine. Like I'm happy to perform for. I do straight people for shows for straight people all the time. I'm happy to perform for straight people. I don't mind talking slower, so it's fine. It's fine. And happy. The other thing about Zoom shows that's awful is like I have to spend like an hour and a half getting my lighting set up for it. Because like I'm 50 years old, so like at my age, like for a middle-aged gay guy, Zoom lighting, it's like the same as like grinder lighting. It's gonna make it or break it. So it was nice that I could just show up and be mediocre tonight. I keep touching my nose and I apologize. Unlike Christopher, I don't do cocaine, but I've been having all of these nosebleeds lately. I had a nosebleed at like noon. I guess it's dry in Arizona. I should know better, but it's like they started out of the blue, and then I have one like 30 minutes before the show started. So I'm like sitting here, like in the back of my mind, I'm having this inner monologue, like, oh my God, if I start bleeding in front of all these people, it's gonna get all over everywhere. They're gonna see it. I'm gonna be so humiliated. So I need to call my little sister and apologize for how I treated her when she was 12. Because now I'm walking a mile in her jellies. No, but we're here because we love Danielle. No, don't clap for her because she went and got cancer like an asshole. And here's the thing. Okay, so I moved back to Phoenix, Arizona 3 years ago. And my very first friends here were Gene Moore and Ernesto Ortiz. And they're great. And then they very quickly introduced me to Danielle. And so she's technically my third friend, but I'm a nervous liberal and she's a black female. So I call her my first friend. Because I don't know if you know how liberal math works, but a black female is double the points of two light brown gay guys. So she skipped the line. So she's my best friend in Phoenix. And 2 years ago, she sat a few of us down and she said, hey, you guys, I just got some news. It turns out I have cancer and it's pretty severe. And this will tell you what an asshole comics are. The first thing I said to her was, well, you do have a room full of wigs. But I have to say, like, Danielle is really an inspiring person. She has taught me a lot about the power of prayer. I am not a prayer by nature. And when I found out that a dear friend who I love was sick, I prayed a lot for her. So, she's here, you're welcome. And I did, I prayed so much for the first time in my life. And then a year later, my father actually was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I realized I had used up all my cancer prayers on Danielle. And so my father passed away a month later, so Danielle killed my father. That's what I'm saying, she killed him. Because she's selfish. Listen, you have to laugh. We have to laugh, right? That's the only way you get through this stuff. And listen, I don't have, cancer, but I'm still an American alive in the year 2020. So that's got to be some kind of an ailment, right? That's I'm a disabled person now, right? Because do you remember January? Do you remember how amazing January was? when we were like, we were still like writing 2019 on checks, and we were like, oh, fuck, no, it's 2020 vision, everything is crystal clear. And like, we were like so excited, like it was gonna be so great. And then we're like, there were like 14 people running to be the Democratic nominee for president, and they were all like incredible options. Well, Marianne Williamson, but whatever, that's fine. Like at this point, I would take a white witch with a tambourine. I would be happily vote for her. I don't care if she uses crystal as deodorant. She would get my vote. I would put a sign in my yard. But no, there were all of those. Like, remember Mayor Pete? Oh, Mayor Pete for the gay guys. That was a special time because back then I was a working comedian, and but it was like we were traveling a lot doing gigs, and I was always on an airplane, and always I would be on an airplane, and I'd go to the window seat, and in the middle seat would always be a middle-aged white lady. I now know her name is Karen, but I didn't know that then, and she would always like get like 20 minutes into the flight, and then she would just like explode. She wouldn't take it anymore, and she would be like, "You must be so excited. This is such an amazing time for your people. Your community must be so galvanized, like an openly gay man running to be a major party's nominee for the presidency of the United States." It's like so iconic. It's never been done. He's such a trailblazer. It's so exciting. And finally, I was like, well, we've had a gay vice president for 3 years now. No one has shit to say about that. So what's up, Karen? Gene just gave me the light, but probably not. No, because like we all know Mike Pence is gay, right? He's super gay. Like Mike Pence is so gay, he's in that new Taylor Swift video. Like he's really gay. Mike Pence is so gay, his car in the motorcade is a Kia Soul. It's a faggoty car. Mike Pence is so gay, his Secret Service code name is Shangela. So, it's such a terrible time. Like, again, I don't want to make it just about me, but I'm a liberal, and that's what we do. But, like, for my community, right, like, my vice president thinks he can electrocute the homosexual out of me, and my president's hair looks like that's exactly what just happened to him. So it's not good. Have you ever, this is such a weird thing to ask, have you ever ordered something online? Danielle, I know you do this because you're a bargain shopper. You always have your fashions. You get them, okay. Have you ever ordered something late at night from like some like Chinese website, and you look and you know it's like, this is too little and tiny and sexy for me, but like, maybe I can pull it off, right? And then like a long time later, it shows up, and then you see it and it's like cheap and tacky and just awful and totally fake material, and you're like ashamed to even be like seen with it, but then you realize that the postage to get it back is like 3 times the amount that you paid for the... I feel like that's how Trump feels about Melania. Right? Like, that's why he's trying to destroy the postal system. He's been furious with them ever since they delivered her. It's awful. Okay, now we have Kellyanne McEnany doing the lies. Kellyanne McEnany is just Kellyanne Conway if she drank enough water. I hate that word a little bit. Kellyanne Conway is the most disgusting, like, of all of them. I guess I hold women to a higher standard. I hate her. Like, how does Kellyanne Conway sleep at night? No, I know the answer. Hanging upside down in a closet with her wings covering her body. No, she's a bat. I'm convinced that, they say that the COVID-19 started because somebody ate a bat in China. I think maybe her husband just ate her pussy one night and then sneezed the next day at work. I'm not an epidemiologist. The reason I think I hate Kellyanne Conway so much is I just resent that she makes so much money, and every time I see her on TV, she looks like such shit. Like, I just can't forgive a rich person that doesn't even try to look like, her makeup is always smudgy and smeary, and her hair is always like fuzzy and frizzy and flat in the back and fucked up. Like, okay, whatever. All right, you don't agree with me? That's fine, liberals. You're right, we should cut her some slack. It's got to be really hard to do your hair and makeup when you don't have a reflection. All right, my name is Tony Tripoli. Thank you so much for having me. You guys buy some stuff.
Thank you so much. Tony Tripoli, everybody. Picking on vampires, you bitch. Everybody, I have the pleasure of bringing up your headliner tonight. He's absolutely one of my favorite people. He's a good friend of mine. We're lucky to have him. This guy works all over. He gets around more than COVID. Everybody, give a warm round of applause to my friend Bob Kubota, everybody. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, James Holmes. A round of applause for James Holmes. I have a bunch of cool jokes to tell like James did, but I canceled my Netflix, so I have no material. I don't work all the time. Ever since the pandemic started, this is going to be a disaster up here, is all I'm here to tell you, because I don't do this anymore, because I retired before the pandemic started, and then the pandemic started, and I said, fucking good decision, wasn't it? And now they pulled me out of retirement, and I got to follow this shit. Everybody was great, weren't they? Round of applause. I don't even know about this pandemic. Pandemic sounds like the cooking I did last night. That's what it sounds like. But I finally got to thank one person. Thank you, Leslie Barton. You're always a good fan of mine. I appreciate that shit. All right. Finally got the mask down. Thank you very much. I'm going to put it on my face, but I want to keep my watch from getting COVID. I forgot. Right when I went to a store, I didn't have my mask, man. People started yelling at me. Fortunately, a rodent parachuted out of an airplane, and I grabbed the parachute right off the rodent, put that right on my face, and I was good to go. They say you should have sex wearing your mask. Yeah, right? I know. Condom is optional, apparently. Put on the mask for sex. What am I going to say? Sorry, officer, her eyes looked old enough to me. Well, everyone else is being dirty. Can't I be one? All right. Sorry about that. Anyways, I'm glad to be back up on stage, because the reason why we got off stage comics, you know why? Because we are not essential. I'm like, essential to me, fucker. This is our job. We need to come out and do this. I would do a Zoom show. I don't care, you know what I mean? Put a camera on me. I'll start talking to you. Hi, Gene. How are you? Put the camera on me, will you? Oh, my God. So this is great. Thank you, Gene, for having me out to do this kind of thing. I'm wearing essential oils. I think that helps me out a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what to do with all this stuff, because I found out that Arizona, we set the heat record this summer. How many days in a row of 115 degree heat? How many days in a row? Apparently that did not kill the virus. So I'm going to move to Antarctica, try that shit next time. I love it in Arizona, man. I just love the fact that it was so damn hot. Did you enjoy the fact that it was so damn hot this summer? I always invite my friends out from the East Coast. They've never been here before. All they know is the sun shining all the time. They're like, all right, it's just like Hawaii, right? Oh, yeah, just like Hawaii. Yeah, coconut oil and hula girls, come on out. When they come out, they realize that the sun is sitting on their face, right? So they lay out the sun, and they're laying out working on their suntan, but my one friend gets drunk, falls asleep, leaves his wraparound sunglasses on. Ever seen that guy? Takes them off a couple hours later, he's that racing stripe happening. Hey, how do I look? Well, you look like a negative of the Lone Ranger. Next time you lay out, you should pull over a ski mask and fill in the rest of that tank. I love Arizona, man. I moved to Arizona, and I moved here from the East Coast, man, and I don't know, I like it here, but there's not enough trees here. That's what I decided, not enough trees. I gotta move north or something, man, because I grew up around trees. Who grew up around trees? Yeah. So I moved to Arizona, and all we got is cactus, so I can't look up my family tree. I gotta look up my family cactus. It's only got 2 branches, and they're full of pricks. Love it here. Cool job, though, man. I noticed that the jobs that are essential, who has an essential job out there? Who kept working through this whole thing? Did you keep working? Keep working, anybody? No. Did you keep working? What's your job? What did you keep doing?
I do math all day.
You do math all day? Well, great. I do math, too, except it's not hard to subtract 0 from 0. So I got my bank account figured out. So I'm going up to the bank next week to find out how much money I don't have. I know it'll be quite a bit. Lady at the bank goes, your new scenic checks have arrived. I'm like, all right, pretty pictures of my worthless checks. What a great idea. What do you want on your checks? You want some wildlife or scenery or animals or a mountain range or a sun or a moon or a duck or a goat? What do you want on your checks? I don't know, something subliminal. I want a picture of a large, muscular fella. What's that? Well, it's a bouncer, like my fucking checks are going to be. Lots of great ideas. How about on the back of every check, you just pre-print insufficient fonts on every single one. That'll save us all 2 minutes of trouble. I know what I know what is essential. I know that what's not essential is like bars, right? Not essential. But churches, not essential. Weed dispensaries, essential. That's what I found out, man, because there were long lines at the dispensary. It's just because they couldn't get into church. They went over there instead. It's great, man, because I don't know why, but some people don't want those dispensaries, man. They're building up everywhere, and people are freaking out, you know? I got a guy right on my street that put up a sign that said, marijuana is not medicine. And I'm like, well, maybe not for you, pal, but I've got some dandruff happening, and I've tried everything. I tried smoking that marijuana. It's the only product I can find that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. That's right. God's shit is clean. That's all I'm saying. Because all the other drugs will kill you, right? All drugs and alcohol. Alcohol kills more people than all the other drugs combined, right? Well, that's exactly what happens, right? So because what happens when the young people get too much to drink. Like college kids are like, all right, let's pound down those Coronas. All right, let's go rearrange some faces. Pot smokers are not that motivated. They don't even want to rearrange their living room. You know? The worst thing I've ever seen a pot smoker do is come into my house and take all the good snacks, and I'm an Armageddon survival kid. No more Twinkies, no more ho-hos. That's all I'm saying. By the way, do we have any doomsday preppers in here? Anybody ready for the Armageddon? I suggest Twinkies are the ultimate survival food. There's an ingredient in Twinkies that make them last indefinitely. Conversely, there's an ingredient in cannabis that makes the Twinkies last not very long at all. So don't put those together in your backpack. Well, that's good. It feels good though. It's good to be back out here. I feel decent, you know. I didn't get anything accomplished during the layoff here. I really didn't. I've become not a professional comedian. I've moved backward into a transitional comedian. That's not what I am. I stand on stage until somebody with a lot more talent gets up on after me. So that's how that works. I'm working on a new career as a transitional comedian because my mom is just not proud of me, you know? You know what I'm saying? She does not respect the fact that I've made it to Sun Studios to perform tonight. I keep telling her, Mom, just wait. She's 90, but she's waiting. Okay? God bless you, Diva. Thank you for everything you've done. The first show I did one other show, and it was with Diva up in Flagstaff, where she just absolutely killed at that show. She should be up here in place of me performing for you, is what she should be. Round of applause for Danielle, because you keep with this comedy, sister. You know why? Because they got jobs for you. They don't got jobs for me. You know what I mean? I'm not the right ethnic group, you know what I mean? African-American comedians, man, those are my favorite comedians growing up. They had their own show. It was called the Def Comedy Jam. You remember that one? Yeah. I don't have that. I'm still waiting for that Jolly Japan Jam to show up. I've got a great idea for a sitcom you might enjoy. It's called Everybody Loves Ramen. What do you think? And y'all do love ramen, don't you? Good. If you don't, we got a word for you. Successful. All right. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I got about a minute. Is that about right? All right, great. So I'm out of material. So here's my My watch is very helpful, ladies and gentlemen. My watch does not have a temperature, and it's not coughing at all or sneezing. Okay. Well, you guys are great. It's fun to hear laughter, though. It really is fun to hear laughter. Because you know what? Last show I did before the big breakdown was I went up to Payson to do a show at the casino there, and like 400 people didn't laugh at one thing I said, and I just wanted to go home and fucking end it all. You know what I mean? Aww. Then I realized there's a lot of tough crowds out there, and I can't kill myself that many times. I went home, I went in the garage, I got in the car, rolled up the windows, turned the car on, you know, that kind of thing. Well, it turns out I drive a hybrid, so I woke up in the morning feeling great. Fully recharged, baby. All right, that's it for me. You guys All right, who do I introduce? Anybody coming up next? All right. Please welcome to the stage, everybody, Mr. Gene Moore, your producer.
Keep it going for all the comics you've seen tonight. Keep it going for your host that disappeared. It must be the rapture they took him. All right. Thank you guys, thank you, and we're asking you if you enjoyed this show, if you could donate and share this post. We thank you for watching this post. Now we would like to show you, we have two lovely models to show some of the items that we're going to auction. We have a website that will do that.
So we have silent auction that is going on right now. Thank you. There have been some bidders, so thank you. Keep bidding. You can see all the listings, including this, on the DivaDanielle.com. The DivaDanielle.com. Just some cool stuff that's going on here that we have. We have this fabulous. Oh, Leslie, you look fabulous. Fabulous. Is that background? Champagne. And I looked it up. It's fancy because I think it said it was like $65 that bottle. Might be more. $85 for the bottle. $85 for champagne.
Well, I can't.
What else do we have?
We have this lovely blue stone.
Yes, it's Elite from Elite Fine Jewelry, and it actually comes out in a set. There's
Beautiful earrings.
Oh yeah, Native American earrings. They are beautiful. It's like a handmade. A gift certificate from Healthy Skin by Nicole. Oh, I need that. A $205 value basket from Layden Mitchell.
We don't have a plan.
Stop! Cheat!
Who's on it?
For Peterson. Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson Cardinals jersey.
Wait. Is it the murderer, Scott Peterson?
Yes!
No, I think it's Patrick Peterson.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Scott Peterson is that adorable serial killer. Sometimes we forget. We live in a world where it goes so fast and people are so mean and we think everybody is hateful, but that's not true. What I learned from this with Danielle is people are amazing. So Danielle, you're an amazing person. Give it up for Danielle.
Thank you guys. I just want to say thank you so much, and everyone's been amazing and just pouring out of their hearts, because 9 times out of 10 somebody knows somebody that's been touched with cancer, and they know the depth of all the things they have to go through. I was living like a great life. I was working out, eating like really well, doing my job, being a part of the community, teaching at the school, volunteering. I was doing all this stuff that I thought was right and good, and it was, and then all of a sudden I got struck with stage 4 lung cancer. Never smoked, I don't drink alcohol, I don't even drink coffee, and it went to my bones. It's in my back and it's in my pelvis bones, and I just dropped all this weight. So then I said, something is really wrong with me. Then they figured out what it was, and then from the time I started letting people know, everybody has been coming out of the woodwork. People that I met maybe just one time in passing, or maybe I had did something in the community with them. They were like, I don't know if you remember me, but I just saw on Facebook, and I'm so sorry, but we're going to donate, and if you need anything. So it means so much to me, because you just never know who you are touching just by the little things you do, and in return, it comes back to you. I would never even wish this on my worst enemy, but it's been a learning experience. It's been a growing experience, and I do truly believe that I'm going to come out on the other side. And it's going to make me a better